I got two strong arms, let me help.
Good afternoon, my name is Kirsty Dignam, but I'm not here to look at the energies for the week ahead because it's not Monday and I've already done that. It's over on YouTube and every other social media platform that I'm part of, which is pretty much all of them except for X, was that what used to be Twitter, and Threads. Not on those ones. I am here to ask for some help. Let me relax my shoulders into that. I am here to ask for some help. I've just had the most incredible session with a wonderful soul who I've known for a very long time, who is, for want of a better phrase, old hat in their field, but like us all, expanding and seeking assistance with that reaching out, which was an honour to be part of. And it got me thinking to what we need when we're growing, which we're all doing, not from a place of not being good enough, but just from a place of evolution, human evolution, which will be key over the next few months. And we're all going to need some support in that. I'm no different. So as I mentioned, what do I need? I need help. There are many known and unknown restrictions when it comes to sharing. I'm not going to get into the known. We're all on individual journeys. We all behave in ways that we behave that are right for us at the time. I want to look at the unknown restrictions to sharing that we can actually do something about. The truth of the matter is I can only reach the people that know that I exist. No matter what I do, no matter what advertising scheme I decide to or not to buy into, no matter how much money I pay on social media platforms to be seen, no matter how many ticks I have by my name or numbers, I can only reach those that know that I exist. And the best way for that to happen is word of mouth. Always has been. I'm walking proof of that. I've recently found out that despite being around for a while, let's just leave it at that, I was not appearing in Google searches in my local area, wherever those areas were, and I wasn't appearing on Google reviews because I didn't exist. I didn't exist on this engine. I've since put my business on Google, and obviously because it's new, the last few days it has no reviews, and there's nothing worse than bad reviews. Well, there is no reviews. So the first thing that I'm asking for, and there will be several things that I ask for before I discuss what I'm offering as a result, the first thing that I'm asking for is if I've worked with you in any way, shape or form, whether that was years ago when we had the shop, whether we've run courses together, whether I've done a class with you or a healing with you or a reading with you or worked with your animals, however, whether it's been in drumming circles or sound baths or these wonderful, wonderful paths that we've each been part of, please, please, please leave a review. I will put a link to it underneath the video. I don't care what the review is. I don't expect you to blow smoke up certain areas of my body. That does me no favours. If anything, I can't really grow if there's a lack of authenticity. We all need truth one way or another. I'm hoping they'll all be okay, but if they're not, please feel free to reach out if there's any concerns around that. But be honest. It's not about how good the reviews are. It's about the fact that there are reviews, that I have worked with you, that what I offer has existed. That's really, really important. And it's important for us all. We all need to be seen. We all need to be appreciated and recognised. Our worth isn't dependent upon it, but it's definitely reignited as a result because we're social creatures. We're part of a collective species, and that is going to become more and more evident over the next few months, but definitely the next year. We're going to need each other, not in a dramatic way, but in a recognizing that actually we always have. We can only get so far alone. It's always been the case. Always been the case. So request number 1, please leave a review. Request number 2, I can't believe I've managed to get this far by word of mouth alone. That speaks volumes. I can't believe the amount of people that I have worked alongside by word of mouth alone, basically, from seeing the odd thing on social media, and it is the odd thing, which I'll go into in a moment, to people just sharing me around, which is wonderful. And I'm so grateful, because word of mouth for me says that actually we had a big enough connection for you to have me spring to your mind when someone is going through something similar. That's really powerful. To want to share me with someone that you're having an intimate communication with, that's really powerful. Without there being competitions or likes or whatever, which never do well for me. Whenever I share them, they don't work well anyway, so that's fine. This is more sustainable to my soul, shall we say. Which brings me on to the other part, continuing with the word of mouth, but also recognizing that online is a word of mouth as well. I do have a YouTube channel. Give it a like, give it a share, subscribe. You'll always get the videos before anyone else if you subscribe. I put all my posts on there. I know we're all on different platforms, but every single platform that I work with has every single thing that I share. There's no just that for that platform or just that for that platform, which is important. Integration, amalgamation is going to become more and more important when we're living in a world that is becoming less polar. It is. It may not feel like it, but it is. Any opposition or any drip feeding to people, circumstances, and what we offer is going to be very uncomfortable, which I'll go on to in a moment with my services. But subscribe. It's free. Everything I offer online is free. Subscribe. You can even turn off the notifications if I get on your nerves, but subscribe. We live in a world where the algorithms dictate what we see, which means they dictate how we grow. If we are seeing the same thing over and over and over, we're not going to expand. Who does that benefit? Who does that really benefit? Again, I'm not talking about from the perspective of not being enough. We're always enough in every moment, but everything grows. From sunflowers through to trees, through to evolution, everything adapts and grows. That's the beauty of life. So who would benefit from that not happening? I'm not going to get too political here, but if you see a post, give it a thumbs up. You're on the computer anyway, give it a thumbs up. You don't even have to agree with it. Start a discussion. I'm not up for pointless debates that just want to go off on people or bully people, but I'm always up for a discussion. I'm always up for learning. I love to learn. I put a post up about the Grand National, about Golden Dancer, and some of the things up there were pure clickbait, and some of them were conversations that we all grew from, and that's really important. I'm not into cutting you short unless you're being nasty at the 5 agreements, unless you're not upholding the 5 agreements, which I totally recommend you read. Great books. Unless you're being nasty, unless you're taking things personally, unless we're going around in circles and it's not getting anywhere, I'm really open for discussion, because I think the more voices that the earth has, the better. Okay, that's how we learn, that's how we build something different. So feel free to comment. Feel free to comment. If not, just a thumbs up would be amazing. What else was there? Yes, a lot of people say to me that they don't see anything that I'm offering, or they haven't heard from me in a while. That's algorithm. That's algorithm, baby. That's algorithm. If you pay for advertising, you get seen more. Even if you have ticks by your name to verify who you are, which I do stand by, because I think it's important when it comes to scamming and fraud and things like that. I don't personally have one because I'm not willing to pay that, but if you have a tick, it's great because it does protect you and the people that are on your page from that to an extent. But if you have that and you pay advertising, you're more likely to be seen. Now, not all of us can afford to do that. It's extortionate. And also, not all of us believe in that. I do not believe personally, and it's a personal thing, in a world where you have to pay to decide what you see. or someone has to pay to decide what you see, because basically the person that can pay the most is the one that's going to be constantly drip fed into our psyche, and it's the only information we will receive. So algorithm wise, if you haven't seen me, it's because I'm not being statistically or numerically or frequency wise at the top of that page. I'm still there. Go and check over on my page. I post something every day, apart from Saturday and Sunday. I'm trying to rein that in a bit. Still doing it, but I'm trying to rein it in a bit. Not on my personal page, but on my professional page, there will always be something. There's the Daily Dose, which is a tarot card every day, and that's on every platform, even Audible, so you can just listen to it if you want to, you know, and Apple and Spotify, you can just listen to it. It's 3 minutes in the day. The Daily Dose is on there every day. The Monday's Musings, which is a look into the energies for the week ahead, is every Monday. Clues in the name, right? Unless I'm away or unless something's happening, but even then, for the most part, I still turn up. I think the longest video was about 1 hour and 10 minutes because my software won't let me go any longer than that. And again, that's on Audible, so you can just listen to it. I have a lot of friends that just listen to it while they're going for a walk. They just want me in their ear while they're going for a walk. But what I'm getting at here is, if it's not the Monday's Musings or the Daily Dose, there's twice monthly blogs, which are all on Audible and written form. Also, there is a monthly newsletter. There is always something about what is going on. I have a lot of people saying to me they didn't know a workshop was on, or they didn't know an event was on, or they didn't know there was a sound bath, or what. It's there in the events section on Facebook page. It's there on my website, which is going under some upgrades, so I understand that can be a bit technical to try and get around at the moment. Please bear with me with that, because it's just me doing it, okay? But it's all there. Or I'm here. Send me a message. Send me a message. If you're not sure what's going on this month, send me a message. Which brings me on, I'm aware that I can only do 20 minutes on Instagram, so it brings me on nicely to what is going on this month. Well, this month it's nearly over. Okay, I've asked for what I need to keep getting out there, to keep being me, which is important. As healers, you know, as anybody that's in service, we offer a big chunk of ourselves, and we all like to be seen. We all like to feel appreciated and that we're on the right track and doing what we're here to do. Okay, so that's what I need to do. That's what I need from you. Google review, like a post, share it if you feel drawn to. I understand that not everything I share, particularly some of the tongue-in-cheek stuff, I understand it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I understand that some of us still have different hats. And, you know, we may not be able to share tarot card readings in a world where that's not really accepted. I get that, but you can put a thumbs up. You can put a thumbs up, or you can leave a Google review, or you can subscribe, or you could just listen. Even just listening to an Audible lifts that up. Okay, the more lifted up that is, then the further out there I can reach, the further out there I can help. And that's the key. Okay, that's the key. Being able to help by simply being who I am, which is changing, not who I am, but how I do it. So this month, well, May's nearly over. Okay, so I don't think there's really much on. There's no availability this week. There's no availability next week because I'm away. I'm away studying Yochi, which is yoga and mindfulness and playfulness for children. I'm doing that because I want to offer that in the half term. I want to offer some kind of package in the half term, so when you don't know what to do with your children, they have that Yochi class. And what I'm hoping to do is give them not homework, home play, things that you can really connect to with them, or they can do on their own or with their friends or their siblings in the space in between until I see them again. Really, really important. The future. Yeah, they are our future. We can pull a tarot card, but our children are our future. I'm going to hear Whitney Houston. The other thing in May is there is one event left, and that's the sound bath. It has 2 spaces taken, which means it has 8 spaces left. It's at the Porchester Hub Community Centre. I'm going to continue it, even though there's only the 2 people, out of commitment to the 2 people that are turning up. However, if it continues, I'm going to have to stop it, right? We have to be realistic. Uptake dictates what we offer to an extent. By the time you've paid for a room, if you don't get the numbers, then you're out of pocket. And we just can't keep doing that from a not just a financial perspective, but a give and take perspective. It's not good for anybody. It's not good for my self-worth. It's not. So there's going to be adaptations. I don't expect people to turn up just for the sake of it, but I will feel into my own market research. This worked, this didn't. Okay, what about doing sound baths at home? What about doing one-to-one sound baths? What about taking sound baths off the table for a while? So that's on the 30th. All the details are in my event, on my event page, or on the website, or contact me, or at Portraying Hub. Just contact us. That's then May. In June, around the 13th and 14th, I'm going to a vocal training weekend. Every time I do the sound bath or sound healings, there's a lot coming through with my voice wanting to be a tool. So that makes me smile. So that's going to be something I will be offering, but I'm going to the training for that. So that weekend is off the table. And then the following weekend, I think there's an opportunity to do the Temple of the Rose. There's something going on with that I've been invited to. And also Closing of the Bones, or Wrapped in Rhythm workshop for a weekend, which is about bringing us back into the body after monumental change, which we've all experienced. Over the last decade, we've all experienced in one way or another. So really important modality of healing that is being asked to be brought into everything else that I offer. I think, yes, there's an EFT group in Portraying Hub at the end of the month, which is Emotional Freedom Technique. I may very well do taster sessions in the evenings in June once a week to plug the event, but also if you don't want to come to the event, then you have something for yourself at home. But if I again don't get the uptake, then I will probably cancel that. Don't think anyone's booked it at the moment, but it is still there at the moment. On the 6th, I'm hoping to bring the chakra dancing classes into a reality. I have a few potentials. A lot of people have come forward offering gardens and lands and centres if I want to work at them. So I'm just eking a few opportunities out. So keep an eye out for that. A lot is up in the air at the moment. Again, another reason why I recommend you just check in on my Facebook page or Instagram or whatever. Just once a day, just check in, see if anything's been posted on there, or reach out. Because I'm so busy with the training, it does leave my availability limited. Okay, that's not in a knee-jerk reaction, book me now. That's in a truth reality, in a wonderful reality. And I'm trying to do it so that I can still offer services and grow with them, which means they're being amalgamated. It's something that's been happening anyway, but they're being amalgamated. There isn't going to be separate healings. That's been ongoing for a while anyway. So the crystal healings and all that kind of thing, they're all going to merge into one. The crystal healing, the violet flame, the Metatron healing, the color healing, the Atlantean healing, it's all going to be amalgamated into one, which is the soul healing. Always has been the soul healing. That's easier for you. You don't have to decide what you want, and it leaves your soul chance to discuss. We go through a really in-depth consultation before anything happens, and it just comes to light what it is you need on a deeper soul level. The packages are going to remain, because they work really well. Packages help us to continue seeing each other over a period of time. They work out cheaper than having the individual services anyway, but they help to just support those changes as they continue. Sometimes a lot of the things people come to me that they want to bring into their life, they're not always just a wiggle your nose and they're there. They take work and commitment, and the packages help with that. Anything else, a lot of the massages are going to be combined together anyway, just with healing. I've never been a fan of separating the healing from the massage anyway. Good luck to anyone that can do that. I'd have to be really restrictive in the energy that flows through me if I'm not doing the healing. I do the healing when I cook my dinner, so I'd have to be quite separate. So that's all amalgamating. So lots of exciting changes. I'm going to have to make a move. Lots of exciting changes. None of them you're going to know if you don't check out my Facebook page or Instagram or Spotify or TikTok, or pick your medium. But you're not going to know any of them if you don't check in and see what's going on. And that's the invitation overall. That's up to you. I'd love to see you a bit more. I'd love your help, and I'd love to just take these things further. So let me know how we can do that together, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.
Sure do me good. Do you good. Let me help.